Anyone can achieve wealth. Here's how in 4 easy steps. Most people would love to be wealthy, but now everyone's definition of wealth is different, and few people know the steps to take in order to achieve it. One thing for sure is that there are no shortcuts or some magical formula that will make you rich overnight. Unless you hit the lottery or have a long-lost wealthy uncle about to kick the bucket and leave everything to you, you need a plan that's simple and straightforward. Hi, welcome back to Finance Sense, where we cover all the latest trends in the financial markets and the economy. In this video, I will share with you 4 steps anyone can follow to become wealthy. Sure, it won't be easy, but you'll get there with hard work and consistency. But before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to stay updated with our videos. That said, let's start. Number 1. Invest in assets that generate income. If you only generate income by actively trading your time for money, you are not making the most of your earning potential. Most of those with regular 9-to-5 jobs fall into this category. There is nothing fundamentally wrong with making a living this way, but very few people ever get wealthy doing so. Warren Buffett once said, "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die." Warren Buffett is essentially saying that you need to discover methods to invest in things that will increase your wealth without you having to work. Having a job is working for money, but investing is putting money to work for you. One thing the wealthiest individuals in the world today have in common is investing in assets. Assets are the things you spend money on that appreciate in value, generate income for you, or do both at once. Real estate is one of the assets that wealthy individuals put their money into. Real estate refers to the purchasing and selling of homes, properties, and other lands for industrial, commercial, residential, and other specific uses. There are several ways to generate income from real estate investments. Renting out the properties you own is one typical approach to generating income from real estate. Purchasing a house and reselling it after its value rises is another way people may profit from the real estate market. If you buy a home in an area that is rapidly growing, its value may increase, allowing you to flip it for a profit. You may also utilize real estate to profit by purchasing, renovating, and selling a property. Investing in mutual funds is another option for increasing your wealth. Mutual funds are pools of invested capital of investors in securities like stocks and bonds. Mutual funds come with greater fees than other assets like ETFs or index funds, but they have lower risks since they diversify your investment and are managed by experts. Buying individual stocks is another alternative if you want a more personalized investment approach. Purchasing ownership in a certain business is what you are doing when you invest in stocks. Your shares' value will rise if the company does well, and if you sell them at around this moment, you may make some money and move on to the next investment. Number 2, live frugally. Living frugally entails being intentional with your expenses. You might be surprised to learn that most individuals don't budget their spending. But low-income earners aren't the only ones struggling with this issue. If you spend more than you make, regardless of how much money you generate, you will never be wealthy. Setting the right priorities is the only way to live frugally, which involves living within your means. For example, practicing frugal living makes it easier to distinguish between your needs and wants, saving you money by preventing irrational purchases. Unfortunately, some individuals dismiss the idea of living frugally. This is probably because they haven't yet been taught the advantages of this financial mindset. You may cut costs and increase your ability to save money by leading a frugal lifestyle. When you spend less money on an item because you don't need it, you can put the money towards something else, such as expanding your wealth. The money you save may be invested in assets that will pay you over time, and when you keep this in mind, living on a budget becomes much simpler. The first step is to establish and stick to a budget. One way for efficiently managing your finances and eliminating wasteful spending is to create a budget. You can plan how to spend your money before you even receive it, thanks to a budget. Another strategy to live frugally is to reduce your major expenses, such as food costs. You may reduce your monthly food expenditure by cooking at home and decreasing the number of times you dine out. Did you know that eating at home rather than dining out can save you between $10 and $20 every time? When you divide the savings by the number of days you regularly dine out in a month, you will notice that they eventually build up to substantial savings. Number 3, develop a high-paying skill. Self-investment is one of the finest investments you can make. This would undoubtedly enable you to stand out from the crowd and raise your overall value, as most individuals stop learning once they graduate from college. This value is crucial since it determines how much money you can earn. Have you ever noticed how many employees work for a company yet receive varying salaries? Not every one of them is equally valuable or makes an equal contribution to the company's development. The best paid employees in a company are those who add the most value, often by virtue of their high-demand skills. These are highly sought-after abilities that few individuals possess. Because of the amount of growth that these skills can bring to a business, people are prepared to pay a high price for them. Because of this, a CEO, a director, and a janitor get different salaries. Other professions that pay well also include project management, computer programming, graphic design, and search engine optimization. Number 4, reinvest your profits. Reinvesting money from your assets is the final step in increasing your wealth. When you invest in assets like stocks, the business may pay dividends or make a profit for you when you sell them. Similarly, over time, you may get rent payments if you invest in real estate. Instead of getting these returns and spending them, you may use them to invest in other assets if you want to increase your wealth. One advantage of doing so is that it will gradually enhance your entire asset base. Another benefit of reinvesting is that you can quickly achieve financial independence. You might claim that you have achieved financial freedom when the income that you can generate from your investments is sufficient to cover your basic necessities. Typically, the revenue you generate from your investments takes the form of passive income. Additionally, investing money from your assets rather than cashing it out has the benefit of compound interest. Assume you put $1,000 into an investment for 10 years at a fixed interest rate of 5% annually. After 10 years, if you keep receiving the interest without investing it, you will have $500. Let's now assume that you annually reinvest the interest. In this situation, at the end of 10 years, you would have earned a total of $626.89. You can reinvest your dividends as an investor by getting more shares of the stock. Additionally, you can utilize your dividend to diversify your portfolio by purchasing shares in several companies. This illustrates reinvesting in paper assets, but you can do this with real estate properties. The money from your real estate investments can be used to purchase more properties. The theory is that if these properties make you money, buying other properties can make you even more money. Hi, we hope you liked watching this video and learned something important. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on our videos. And make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. This is Finance Sense, helping you keep up with all the latest trends in the financial markets and the economy. Until next time.